Hey everybody, it is Tea Time with the Diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we're going to get into it. This Tea Time is dedicated to Tish Hyman. Tish Hyman, I did a story on her a couple weeks ago on my channel. She is the young lady who had a Gold's Gym membership. And in the women's locker room, she said a transgender person came in the locker room, but this particular person likes to expose themselves. They still have male parts, like to expose their male parts and kind of harass the woman in the locker room. So she came out, she went on a little tirade and said she's tired of seeing big D's in the women's locker room. Can you please do something about it? And as a result, kind of wrap the story up a little shortly, the gym canceled her membership. But it was later found out that that particular transgender person, he used to be married and can be considered a violent person because they beat their wife to a pulp almost, broke her jaw to the point where the estranged wife and now ex-wife needed surgery. So Tish, I'm coming back to the story with about her with you, because there's some people when they have a cause and something happens, couple weeks later you're like, okay, nobody's marching anymore, nobody's still trying to fight for these rights. Well, Tish is standing on business. She is going to the local politicians in her area and she's fighting to have the locker rooms and the bathrooms separated and not have it mixed to the point where people are not feeling safe and they're being harassed. So first I will go into giving you a little bit of the backstory if you don't remember. So let me just show this footage.
Gold's Gym! Men! Grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know. Everybody saw that man in the locker room. No one saying shit. And I'm done with it. It's stupid. It's dangerous. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. But I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room.
And this, I'm going to show you the response from the transgender person to Tish's words. But remember what I said. Hold on, let's take a look.
And she said when she came face to face with you, it was obvious to her you were a man. So, I don't want to get terribly graphic here, but can you kind of explain, how you appeared? Do you believe that she was reading something in that you didn't appear to be male? She perceived you to be such.
Well, first, I told the people that raised me that this is the way that I was when I was 8 years old. And really, I stuffed it down pretty deep. And I began using hormones this year in February. And I actually relinquished that information to her about, name change. And it says female on my ID and hormones. And I mean, I'm registered as a female with the gym. So.
And were you at that moment, because she told us about a couple of different encounters, were you fully clothed at that moment?
Well, she has become aggressive with me on 4 different occasions, actually at different locations in Los Angeles at Gold's Gym. But fully clothed. I believe I was enrobed in a towel on one occasion. And this last time I was clothed the entire time. Yeah.
Okay.
Again,
I just wanted to give you a reminder. Let me bring you to current day, where Tish is in these streets fighting still for the rights. Okay. So let me show you first. Hold on one second. Where she talked to a politician to say, how are you going to protect us? So she has not let this go. Let's listen.
My name is Tish Hyman. So I've been harassed, verbally and assaulted multiple times by men in the women's locker room and gold Grammy-nominated. I've even lost my membership after objecting to one man in the women's locker room who turned out to be a convicted domestic abuser who broke his wife's jaw so badly she used to have surgery. You're on record saying that men in women's locker rooms in sports is a quote, not a thing. Given what's happening on the ground in California, will you now acknowledge that it is in fact a thing? And if elected governor, what would you do to protect women in California from men, including men convicted of violence against women who can self-identify into any female space under the current law?
I was a prosecutor at OPEC for 7 years, and where justice was warranted and mercy was warranted, I showed it. And where a stiff punishment was warranted because somebody got hurt, I stopped it. And I will not be a governor that tolerates violence against women in our state. Period. That's not now, as it relates to the issue of trans kids, particularly in sports, sure. Yeah, that's wrong. Harassment, yeah. I'm going to protect women. I did as a prosecutor. I will protect women. No woman should be harassed in any locker room. No woman should be harassed in a locker room. That's a crime. That's a crime. Yeah. I'm telling you, I don't want men harassing you in women's locker room. That should not happen. I will also say, yeah.
It's happening to our girls, it's happening to our women. I'm here so that everyone knows.
I tell you.
You want to be the governor, you need to do something about that. I promise you this. I will not be the last petition.
I'm going to protect you as governor. You have my word on this. I'm going to protect you.
So Tish is standing on business. Like I said, a lot of times people have a cause. They may stand for that cause a couple of weeks, a couple of days. Tish is not playing. She's standing on business. So let me just go more into this story. So singer Tish Hyman slams Eric Swalwell for dodging question on transgender women and female locker rooms. Hold on. California gubernatorial candidate Eric Swalwell was eviscerated by Grammy-nominated singer Tish Hyman after the leftly poll refused to say transgender women shouldn't be allowed in female locker rooms. Hyman pressed him at the campaign event in Orange County over the weekend, just weeks after she was booted from a Gold's Gym in Los Angeles after confronting a transgender woman who allegedly exposed his male genitals in the women's locker room. The 42-year-old musician demanded to know whether the congressman would allow men in women's locker rooms. As governor, are you against men in women's locker rooms in sports? That's all you need to answer. She asked him. The video of the interaction shows. He danced around the question, saying he doesn't want men harassing women, but didn't explicitly say he is against trans women with male genitals in female spaces. First frustrated Hyman then stood up and addressed the crowd, who cheered her on. Trans women are not women, and they are violating women. So I don't care if the Democratic side or the Republican side. We need to be on the woman's side. People cheek crowd. If you want to be the governor, you need to do something about it, Hyman insisted. Hyman claimed she was kicked out of a Beverly Hills Gold Gym after getting into a heated caught-on-camera confrontation with Alexis Black, a convicted wife beater who is transitioning. Hyman had filed complaints against Black for using the women's locker room and accused Black of exposing himself and harassing her in the locker room. Black, formerly Grant Freeman, pleaded guilty in 2022 to savagely beating his wife, Alexis Freeman, while still living as a man in Ohio, causing a compound fractured jaw, among other serious injuries. Black has denied Hyman's claims, insisting he was fully covered, and denied that anything inappropriate unfolded in that situation. Viral footage posted earlier this month shows Hyman screaming at Black to get out of the female locker room at the gym after the trans gym goer allegedly calls her a bitch. Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for this stuff. Hyman shouts in the clip. It did go viral. I understand her side. I was thinking, okay, somewhere I have, hold on one second. Let me just go back. I do have the clip of them in the locker room. Let me see if I can go back to it. Let's make that smaller. I think this might be it. Let's play.
How are you? Did you tell me or not that women like to see?
I'm asking you a question.
Exactly. Get out of the way now. No. Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No. That's fine. I want the video. You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay.
Woo! It's a lot, is all I can say. But I brought it back to you to say that she's standing on business. She's standing for a cause. And it's a conversation that is hard to have because nobody wants to offend anybody, but it needs to be had, right? So listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you on the next video.